All right. Hey, all. I'm Ben. I'm the developer of Final Factory. Today, we're going on a base tour with one of the early Final Factory playtesters. He's got over 100 hours in the game already, and he's built an endgame base for us to explore. Welcome, Doc.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We also have a former Blizzard employee and the current COO of Never Games, Andrew, aka Mello. He's also here with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is I think the first one I did, and it works okay. There's not enough ice, as you can see.
Yeah.
And so I after this one, I kind of got tired of not having enough organics.
Yeah.
So I spent some time just setting up one that would produce a lot of organics, and I've iterated on that a couple of times.
This
Yeah,
is the one, right?
that. Yep, here's the one, and it just produces like with all those extra production modules, it produces a lot of organics.
Yeah, you have struts here.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was the hard part, was getting it connected without going over the stability. So originally it was actually two completely separate modules, and I added that strut in the center, or I guess to the left, that thing to basically, so the productivity would be high, and as you can see, it produces a ton of organic material.
Yeah.
So
this is a ton.
I guess the other thing to keep in mind too is that organic is a loop, so you need organics to produce organics.
Right.
So that's why it loops back on itself. But I've learned since that right now it automatically pulls that from.
Right. You can watch it here. Well, it's kind of hard. It goes so fast, but the output gets sucked into the connector inventory, which gets put back into the crafting inventory. So you actually don't need a loop yet. I actually plan on making that probabilistic so that you'll get somewhere between, 2 and 6. So you will need to do loop backs, but right now you don't have to. But yours already kind of takes that into account.
These, comet
shadows
I don't know.
coming in.
I wanted to build something how it was meant. I wanted to build the loop because that's fun.
Yeah, I know. I actually intended it to be a loop, and then I realized my own game mechanics wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll get back to that. Anyway, this station's awesome. I love this.
But it's cool. So it should be, especially with the extra production, since I'm producing double, so I have 33 times 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm splitting the output in half, so I should have plenty going back to feed them once that occurs.
Once that change occurs.
Yeah.
Although
so
it depends on how mean I am with the probabilities. Depends what the expected value is.
Yeah. Well, you also need to add in priority on the junction, because right now it loops back through fast and it's produced, so therefore it loops. You just basically don't get any on the output.
Yeah. So these junctions are like splitters in Factorio, although they do have a little buffer, but they don't have priority splitting yet, which I do plan on implementing in the game at some point soon. This is the same thing kind of as your other organics.
Yeah.
Although you have this one offset here that's.
Yeah, it's because I needed more ice and I didn't want to. I got lazy.
Yeah, I understand.
So there's actually two designs. So there's the organics that it's producing, and then the organic polymers that it produces. So this whole design is to produce organic polymers.
I did have one question I wanted to ask Doc. Out of all of this, right? So Ben, if you could go to the big map, the giant one, out of this entire base, what was kind of your favorite, most intricate part that you built?
Yeah, so this is kind of I'm picking this one because the other one is like the end game to build all the parts that you need to beat the game, basically. Yeah. So I don't want to show you that, but this is kind of like a miniature version of it. And so what's fun about it is you need to build a lot of different types of components. So you can see that I have basically, like at this point, I've optimized a lot more what these things, like these hauler stations. So like they're much closer together. right? And so I've like learned a lot at this point. It's okay, yeah. So basically, at this point in the game, I started being able to build things much faster. So here you can like see like I'm able to produce like this thing's not moving anymore because I finished the Dyson sphere, but I'm able to produce all of this stuff and go go right, which is sort of my production direction, without a whole lot of things. And you can see like right here, like you see I'm producing the I forget P1 laser thingies on the left, and it's sort of almost perfectly aligned with the direction of the cargo drones. So then I can produce the cargo drones. They go into the middle, which needs both iron and silica to build these other components. And so like once I started doing this part, it was I don't know, the game became a lot more fun. So like once you get this spacing down of like, okay, I need to be whatever 8 squares.
Yeah.
It's not 8, it's like 12, I think, 12 or 15. And you can fit almost all your production in between those.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. And then everything kind of flows. And if like you're looking at the mall, it's insane.
Yeah.
There's none of that. There's none of that going on. Like
Right.
I have to move things like over, they like loop back. But the later designs, sort of figuring that puzzle out of how to get things moving and how to, because you have to make lots of different combinations. So there's 3 basic components, and then there's ice and organics, which are sort of the tier 2 starting positions. And those big thing that you need to make with those is organic polymers. And you need organic polymers like for almost all the T2 stuff. And so
this is
like
where you bring them in here.
Yeah.
Wait, where are these coming from? Oh, all the way down here.
Yeah.
Oh, you have one of these factories that you were just talking about.
Yeah. So this is a new design. I was trying something else here, but the organic polymer here is a lot more efficient.
There's so many of them. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this was a lot of fun to make. And then you have these megastructure things. That's the purple sort of.
The fullerene structures.
Yeah, fullerene.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
And so you need those to make a bunch of the Dyson sphere different things, because it's hard to get power anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can't really have a central power grid right now.
Yeah,
so
because there's no like power pole equivalent. You always have to. You're like on the grid here with these big transmitters. Like they only go in a straight line.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty cool. Like I think the transmitters they're kind of like power poles, but not at all.
They require a little more thought, right? You have to line them up, and they destroy stuff. If I put something in between here, it's so hot that it actually just blows it up right away. In this case, because there's so much power flowing. Because there's actually a Dyson sphere at the end of this. We should go check that out.
So I was actually thinking, I didn't try this yet. Is that can you use the Dyson sphere transmitter or the Dyson transmitter?